Okay.
Hello everyone. So we are back. So yesterday we did one mock interview session. So as per the view count and the comments, I know people are liking the concept which we bring in front of you, right? So I have Poorva with me on this platform. So welcome Poorva once again. Today we'll be discussing few more questions. Those interviewer generally ask in the questions, sorry, in the interviews, right? So guys, for your information, like if you are attending this session for the first time, so like we started this mock interview series, and initially we are covering the questions which are non-technical, right? So whenever there is an interview, so interviewer directly doesn't ask like technical questions directly, right? So they start with like tell something about yourself, why you opted this company to do a job, right? So those kind of questions. So a few questions we covered in yesterday's session, and this is part two for this mock interview session, from which like you can learn how you can answer questions relating those with some real life examples, right? So in continuation to that series, I have Poorva with me. So like I will be acting as interviewer, and Poorva will let you know like how well you can frame your answer. So she will be acting as interviewee, right? And going forward in technical mock interview sessions, like we'll be switching our roles, right? So sometimes Poorva will be interviewer and sometimes I will be. So that basis on our experiences, like we both have 10 plus years of experience, right? So we'll be sharing our experiences as well with you. Okay, so with this note, let's start this session, right? So Poorva, first question for today's session to you. So, like, if you are applying for any company, so this is a generic question that any interviewer can ask. So, what do you know about our company, right? So, let's say you have applied for Infosys or TCS or Wipro, so they can ask this generic question. So, how viewers can answer this question? Over to
Right. So again, for this question, also some research is required. If you research more about the company and then you appear for the interview, that will be an add-on for you. Sometimes we just randomly see the post, and because we need the job, we just apply for it. We don't know about the position, we don't know about the JD, we don't know about the company also. So it's always good to research about the company, that when was the company founded, who is the founder or CEO of that company, what type of products that company is into, if that company is a service provider company or it's a product based company. These type of information is very helpful for you. You can do this homework before you appear for the interview, and then you can easily answer this question. So if I have to just sum up, if you somebody is asking you that why you want to join this company, you can always appreciate the good points about that company, that I have read somewhere the work culture of this company is really good, so that's why I want to be a part of this amazing company which can provide me a better work culture, and there are lots of career opportunities also available in this company. So based on that, I was interested to be a part of this company. I think that sums up well for this question.
Right, so very well framed. So one thing I just want to add, like if you can research on what products that company is working. So there are two types of companies available. One is product based and one is service based, right? So if you can explore about this, so I think guys this will also help you out, because if you're applying for a job in Infosys, so you just need to know what kind of technologies upon they are working, right? So I think if you can research in that direction, so that will also help you.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also I can add one more point here. It just clicked in my mind that you can also search if that company falls into the Fortune 500 list of companies also,
Right.
right? This is one thing which is an add-on for you, a good to know knowledge, that I can just brief something about it. There is a Fortune magazine by US corporation, which is released every fiscal year. So they have some list of 500 companies based on the revenue. For example, this fiscal year 2023, Walmart, Amazon, Apple, these companies were listed as top 500 based on their revenue. So if you tell them that if you're applying for Apple, Google, companies like that, Amazon, you can tell them that based on the revenue, your company was featured in the Fortune 500 also this fiscal year. So that's why I wanted to be a part of this good brand. That will be something which will be add on.
Yeah, so Poorva, Ashutosh is asking, is this question expected for experienced people also?
Yes, of course, it will be applicable for experienced people also. In fact, I think it will be more applicable to experience because from freshers, there will be less expectations about this type of question, but it will be more as compared to freshers because people will want to know that if you have already worked in previous company, why you want to be a part of another company now. So it will definitely be a good option and good opportunity for you to explain about the company.
Right. So one more thing, like I want to discuss with you, Purva. So if we talk about Salesforce, so there is also confusion, like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, these MNCs work with Salesforce technology, and Salesforce itself is a company, right? So if you can tell something about that, and then if you are missing something, so I will cover. So if you can go ahead first and explain, guys, like Salesforce is a product company, what they are doing, and how TCS, Infosys, and other companies are utilizing that product for clients. So it will
Right.
help them as well.
Right. So this is a very common question. Those who know a little bit about Salesforce, they know that Salesforce is itself a separate company. Yes, that is true. Salesforce have their headquarters in US and in India, also in Hyderabad, and they have opened and expanded their business into different cities and states in India also. So apart from that, there are like I remember when I started my career 10 years back in Cognizant. Cognizant was only one company at that time where Salesforce expanded their support to that company in India specifically. So that doesn't mean that Cognizant is Salesforce. You know, it is one of the company who is either providing services on Salesforce platform to their clients or they are themselves using Salesforce CRM for managing their data. So if we talk about MNCs like TCS, Accenture, Wipro, these people are providing services onto the customers who are using Salesforce platform. These are service based companies which are using Salesforce platform. Now there are product based companies also like Seclor Technologies, Symantec, Veritas. These are called product based company who manufacture their product maybe on antivirus softwares or something like that. So they manage Salesforce customer database for their own company. So there will be inbuilt support or inbuilt Salesforce team in their companies where you will have to support internally to their employees, sales reps, and whatever opportunity quotations, and they will be using Salesforce internally. So there are two types of services which Salesforce has in Salesforce headquarters directly, the company which we have. There will be various type of clients. It can be the MNCs also. So you will be taking care of their Salesforce instance where the database is managed. So this is how we can differentiate between Salesforce itself as a company and the providers or the various companies or MNCs or startups who are using Salesforce as a service.
Right. So, this knowledge is very much important, and I think you rightly covered everything. I don't have anything to add up on it. Right. So there are two things, like if you are preparing for Salesforce, so you can apply for a job in Salesforce as a product company, and you can apply in other companies where either those companies are using Salesforce as a product for managing their day-to-day activities, or they are building some solution for their clients, right? So this way you can bifurcate.
Right.
Okay.
And as we're talking about interviews, right? So from that aspect, I don't think there is difference, but I can say that there will be difference in preparing for Salesforce headquarters directly as compared to the companies who are providing solutions on Salesforce. because I can see there are questions or the level of expertise which is required to crack the interview in Salesforce directly is tougher as compared to other companies. So that's the difference as from interviews point of view.
Right, and I think if someone is preparing Salesforce properly, right, they are doing all the implementations, learning concepts theoretically, and preparing interview question and answers as well, right? So I think if you apply in any of the company, you will be able to clear the interview, right? So it depends on how much practice you are doing, right? So keep on doing those things. And like me and Apurva, we are here for your support. So like we are already doing these training kind of things. So anytime if you have any doubt, if you want to interact with us, so you can just reach out to us on LinkedIn or other platforms. So we are available for you. Okay, so with this, I jump on to the next question, right? So it is also common question, and most of the folks don't answer this question properly, right? So it is, how did you hear about the position, right? So how they can like answer this question in well mannered way, so that like they don't just say like we heard about this job from social media platform or from any friend. So how they can frame this question's answer.
Right. So again, a research is required in order to answer this question properly. That whenever a company is releasing their JDs, they will of course release it on different social media platforms, right? They will release it on LinkedIn, Naukri, and other social media platforms.
Sorry to
So
interrupt. You just mentioned one word, JD. So I think most of the freshers actually doesn't know about JD. So if we can talk about that first, and then if you can continue.
sure. So JD is nothing, it's a job description of each and every profile which a company releases for every vacancy. Without a JD, they cannot release any position. And it just job description means the description of the vacancy, that what skill set is required or what education is required. This comprises of all of these things. So, for example, if a vacancy is released by a company called XYZ for Salesforce admin, so they will have the skill set, experience, and everything required in that particular JD or job description, describing about what is the requirement for that particular position. So they can include some customizations and technicalities which is included or required to be a Salesforce admin in their companies. And it varies from company to company. So it's very important to go through the job description of the position you are applying. The JDs are available on all the social media platforms with the vacancies attached in LinkedIn or Naukri.com or whatever platform you're applying. If you're applying outside India, also there are different portals, but the vacancies will be released along with the JDs always. So you have the flexibility to download the JDs, and sometimes if you have applied for any random position like walk-ins are there you will not get the JD. And some online virtual career fairs also there where they will not provide you JD at one hand. So you can always ask about to the HR about the job description of that particular position. Based on that only you will prepare. So, for example, if you're appearing for an interview for developer or admin or marketing cloud consultant or whatever profile it is, so if you go through JD, it will help you to answer the question which was asked by Sanjay in initial session, that how do you apply or how do you say that how do you came to know about this particular position. So because of the JD, you can say that I have gone through your JD and I think that there was this skill set required, admin customizations, automation, all of these things are required. And I found myself a suitable candidate for this particular JD. That is why I am applying for this position. So that can be an answer also for how did you come to know about this particular vacancy.
Right. So very well answered, Purva. So I just liked this JD thing, because most of the freshers either doesn't know about this or they don't explain. So JD is important, and this you can add on like why you want to apply, or why you want to join the company for this particular role, right? So if you can say like I have gone through the JD and it matches with my skill set, so it will give interviewer enough confidence like you have gone through with all the requirements and you are very well prepared for the interview, right?
Right. And if we think from, recruiters' perspective, when we are taking interviews, we are, there are hundreds of candidates coming in. And if somebody says that they have already gone through the JD and they matches the skill set, our work will become easier. So
Right.
that's why it will definitely help you guys if you use this word JD and if you go through the JDs before applying for the positions.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on to the next question. So it is related to the previous one, like the position. So interviewers sometimes ask, like, why did you apply for this position, right? And as a fresher or maybe as an experienced professional, like those who are switching from Java to Salesforce or from like a particular cloud to another cloud, or they are transitioning from Salesforce developer to Salesforce developer, right? So they just need to justify like why did you apply for this position. So I think with the help of JD, in my opinion, so but I just want to have your opinion as well, like how they can frame answer to this question.
Yes, absolutely. So I will continue to the previous explanation only that whenever you are going through JD, it will be a good option that if you go through the JD already and if you add that I have seen the job description of this particular profile, you require these many skills for this position. And I have already achieved a lot of expertise in this skill set. I have done a lot of projects and I have practical implementations, hands on exercise on these particular topics. So that is why I think I will be a perfect suitable match for this particular position.
Right. And like if you are fresher, so what all projects you have done, you can showcase them. Like these are the projects I have done, and these matches with the skill set that is mentioned in the JD, right? And guys, one suggestion for freshers, then I will pick the experience one as well. So if you're a fresher and you want to showcase your project work, so sometimes in an offline interview where you won't be able to showcase your org where you have implemented the project, so what you can do along with CV, you can have a booklet where you can have some screenshots of the configurations, flows, apex code that you have implemented. So like if you remember in college, we submit a project report, so that kind of report you can prepare and you can showcase that to your interviewer, so that that interviewer will see that report and automatically questions will be coming from that report only. And if you have really implemented that project, so you will be able to answer those questions, right? So
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, go ahead, Purva, if you want to add.
Yeah, I just, it was a good insight actually. So, what we can do is you can also create a portfolio for your own,
Right.
including whatever projects you have done using LWC. That will be also a good practice, also. And with just one click, you will be able to add that portfolio link in your resume. So,
Right.
that is also something which can be
Yeah.
done.
So, like if you have the opportunity to showcase that online, so that is perfectly fine. You can have those links, and but if offline, so this is just a suggestion if anybody wants to apply that. And if you are experienced professional, then I think it is very easy for you to showcase whatever projects you have done. So showcase all the projects that you have done in your CV, so that interviewer will ask questions from those project work as well. And for freshers, like do proper implementation, don't just write project names for filling the CV, right? Because if interviewer is asking the question and you are not able to answer, so it will be giving them bad impacts, right? So nowadays, people are taking help from other folks, like please implement or do these things for me. And if you write those things in your CV, so you have to explain those things in front of the interviewer. And if you are not able to explain, so it will create bad impacts, right? And one more suggestion, like if you want to practice like how to communicate in interview, so if you want to improve your English, if you want to improve your explanation power or technical skills, so what you can do, you can just try and record yourself whatever you want to explain, and then try to listen that recording. So automatically, like you will find like where you did some grammatical or tense mistake, where you explained technical things incorrectly, right? So if I'm not wrong, Purva, so whenever we do sessions, if it is recorded, so we just go and check like how it went, right? So we do this activities for ourselves as well, so that we can improve continuously, right? So
Right, and if you remember our school times also, right? Our teachers used to punish us that please write it down 10 times,
right.
right? So that also makes you perfect in that aspect also.
Yep, perfect. So I have one question. So uh, Rushikesh is asking, I have 2.8 years of experience in other technology, and I have learned Salesforce but don't have any hands-on on real-time projects. So how can I show the experience? So I think, uh, yeah. So Rushikesh, you won't be able to showcase experience in Salesforce, but like as in last session, yesterday's session, we discussed like you can have your trailhead profile, right? So trailhead profile will be having badges. You might have earned some number of badges, points, trail mixes you have completed, or if you have done any certification, so that is also listed there. So that is one thing. Second, like whatever online resources you have, I'm not saying like go to my channel only. Wherever you find any project, maybe it is related to admin, development, LWC, or any cloud specific projects. So do implement those things, and then you can highlight those skill set in your CV. And how to defend that? You can just say like, I am working in this technology, but I am passionate about Salesforce. Now you just need to add like why you are passionate about Salesforce. So then to defend that thing, what you can do, you can just showcase like these things I have earned on Trailhead, and these many projects I have completed. So that will showcase like how passionate you are, and you are really willing to work in Salesforce technology, right? Anything, Purva, that you want to add to this?
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is the most commonly asked question to very frequently, that how to showcase the experience. If you are not experienced, then you cannot show the experience. First thing, what you can do is, which is in your hand, is working on project implementations. That's the only way we as freshers have. No other option apart from that.
Right. So we'll take a couple of more questions, right? And then at last we'll be covering one question that like that is always running in my mind. That like yesterday also someone asked like, is it necessary to switch from non-technical to Salesforce, and why into Salesforce only? So maybe like for 4 5 minutes we can discuss on that. But before that, I want to throw two more questions to you. So next one is, why are you looking to leave your current company? So I think this goes for experienced candidates, and this is like generic question, because if you are joining any other company, so like why you want to leave your previous company? So we cannot say negative things, because anyhow we are going to join this company. So interviewer can say like when you will be leaving, so you will be saying these things to us as well. So how they can like express their feelings in positive way, so that it can get the attention of interviewer, like you are leaving for you are leaving this company for so and so purpose, and this is the reason why you are giving the interview. So if you can share some insight.
Sure. So here, in order to answer this question, you have to be diplomatic. You
Right.
cannot just say that my manager was bad or whatever issues you were facing in your previous company. You have
Exactly.
to be diplomatic, right? You have to throw some light on the highlights of your current company you are applying for, but you also need to make sure that you maintain good reputation of your previous organization.
Right.
That really matters, because the world is small, right? We cannot say and keep negative things with us, whatever it is. And most of the times we always switch for a better package or for better opportunities, which is
Exactly.
the So you can always say the same stuff in a diplomatic and a better manner so that it will not come or show as negative. So what you can say is you can say that I have been working in this company since a long time, and I have achieved a lot of good certifications, and I have great achievements from my company, and my time which I have spent in previous organization was really great. But now I think it's time for me to go ahead and learn new things in my career, which will help me to grow in my professional as well as in my personal life. So that is why I am looking for a switch. So basically, when switching also, if you have in your resume, you have switched your companies every year, then you cannot say this, because then you have to justify that why you have left your company so early, right? But if you have 4 years of experience, 3 years of experience in one company, then you can definitely say this, that now I'm looking for a better opportunities in company. But in case, let's move to the first scenario, that you have only 1 year of experience and you have switched 2 3 companies. Sometimes it happens, like when I was in Wipro, I worked there only for a year, then I worked in Convergys again for a year. But it was not because of my fault. The process ramped down. So that is something which we can say, that the process ramped down. Otherwise, I really enjoyed working in that previous company. But now I have to move and learn new opportunities. That's the best answer I think we can give for this question.
Yeah, perfect. So one more question, like what are your greatest professional strengths?
Right. So when we say strengths, right, usually we are stuck into these 2 3 common words. We are hard. I'm hardworking. I'm punctual. I'm smart worker. That's the only thing I have heard about. Saying about your strengths, but you can say some extra words here. What are your professional strengths? That's why we have this question. It's not a normal question. What are your strengths? We have what are your professional strengths. So
Right.
in professional strengths, you can include strengths like that I have good communication and collaboration skills. I can collaborate with the team very well. I have positive attitude. I mix up with the team very well, because this matters. Not only your skills will take you through the interview, but your communication, how you collaborate with the team, how your attitude is, that will help the company to improve their work culture. So that matters. So you can say that I have positive attitude towards the team members. I have great communication skills. I am a good and quick learner. I can learn new things very quickly, and I can adopt to the new technologies very well. So these are few strengths I think which one can use rather than just saying hardworking and punctual.
Right. So I think we covered lots of questions. Now let's take couple of questions from chat, and then we'll discuss on the topic that I told you earlier. So there is one question, and I think both the questions are related. So one is like, as a Salesforce admin, I'm not getting any job, right? This is from a fresher, and there is someone who lost her job in layoffs, and working as admin. Now she's not getting any like calls for interviews. So she's asking, is it good to stay as admin or upskill? So what's your
We
thought?
both know the answer for this, because we really need to upskill in this situation.
Exactly.
Salesforce admin is not enough for anyone to find a job, even if for experienced person and freshers, we cannot even imagine the situation. So admin is not actually enough. So you really need to upskill, either to development or something different. As you always say, that you need to switch to a different cloud maybe, and that is why you don't wait for it. I mean, you just have to upskill yourself. Even after years of experience also, we need to upskill ourselves, in order to
Exactly.
avoid the situation of layoff. We don't know when we don't have the job. Life is so unpredictable. So it's always good to learn new things, so that in case of recession or in case of layoff, we have something in our hand, at least not a job but a skill set which will take us to a job.
Right. So if I want to focus on some profiles, so if you have admin knowledge, so admin is one profile for which you can apply. Other than admin, there are lots of roles. If you don't know coding, right? So first one is QA, quality analyst, right? So you can upskill yourself for that role. Then comes business analyst, right? So business analyst is basically client facing role, and nowadays it is growing a lot, right? Because to gather some requirements around the project, you need to communicate with the client. So that is also non coding job. So quality assurance analyst, business analyst. Then if you want to if you don't want to do coding, so you can just go for low code development, right? So you can learn flow builder, right? That is part of app builder. And apart from that, you can learn omni studio, which is getting popular nowadays. So omni studio is a tool which is a low code development tool, right? And this basically is used by industry clouds. So if you go to salesforce.com, so many of the folks doesn't know, like in Salesforce we have different industry clouds available. So if you go to salesforce.com, so on top left corner you will find two links. One is about products, right? And one is industry. So if you click on industry, you will see lots of industry like media, energy, non-profit, right? So these kind of industry names you will find under that list. And if you click on particular link, so you will find the details of that particular cloud. So those industry specific clouds, if you want to implement solutions for those particular clouds, so we need to use a low code development tool that is known as Omni Studio. So you can upskill your skill set to that particular tool, right? Apart from that, we have DevOps, right? This is also growing nowadays. So if you don't want to learn coding and still want to become part of this IT industry, right? So you can learn DevOps skills, right? So DevOps means like in Salesforce, we have different environments in a project. So you just need to move metadata items from one environment to another, right? So there are lots of tools available through which we do deployments, right? So for that, there is one job role which is known as DevOps engineer, right? So these kind of job roles are available. And if you want to research about other job roles, so just go to trailhead.com, trailhead.salesforce.com. There you will find a link known as careers, right? So there all the careers are available, career opportunities, their job description, like what skill set you need to learn. So a developer is one job role where coding is required. Other than developer, there are n number of roles available. One more role is available that is related to UI UX, right? So it is related to designing. Okay, so you just need to explore those things instead of asking question like we have admin knowledge, we are not getting enough opportunities. So you just need to think how you can make yourself different from other folks, right? So on top of admin, you can learn these many skill sets. So 4 5 job roles I told you in this session, and rest you need to explore, right? Okay, so Poorva, let's discuss about that thing, like uh, two major things that is coming up. One is career gap, right? And second is from non-technical to technical, right? So what your suggestions are, then I will conclude the session with my opinion. So these two things we need to cover. So first we need to enlighten career gap, and second we need to enlighten like non-technical to technical. So over to you.
Right. So first of all, when we talk about career gaps, we have to analyze that why these career gaps are coming in your career. I think very first thing is we should not have that career gaps unless it's a personal or family emergencies. If I have seen people that they take career gaps 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, even 6 years for preparing themselves for something particular, maybe government jobs or IT sector or something like that. And then in that case, you are not able to justify 5 years. I think 1 year is enough for you to prepare for something, as per my opinion. And we should not give ourselves more than a year to learn something new. If you are trying to learn something new, I think you can learn parallelly also rather than increasing the gap. Otherwise, it becomes a hurdle to justify that particular gap only for learning if you have taken. If you have any emergencies or some issues, then of course you will be able to justify the same in your interviews. But in case if you have any, that was, if you can avoid it, please do that so that you don't have to face it. If it is unavoidable at all, that the career gap is there due to maternity for women or any other issues are there for men also. So in that case, your knowledge has to be the strength. Your skill has to be the strength. Make sure that you stand out from the crowd. The person who is sitting next to you as your competitor, who has no career gap, make sure you overcome their knowledge. So that is something which is in your control, that you can explore more new features, whatever is there, just learn that, and whatever you are learning, become an expert in that, so that whenever you are giving interview, this part should not be highlighted. Your knowledge should overcome your career gap. That's what I believe how we can overcome the career gap. Only with the knowledge and expertise. That's it.
Right. So I think you covered everything. So I don't have anything. So first, like try to don't have career gap. Still, if you are having, so try to overcome that. Overcome with that career gap, and how you can overcome with the knowledge. This is totally very well answered. So this was the one issue. Second one is like, is it good to transit from non-technical to technical? And if yes, then like who should have the transition in your opinion? Because if someone is like listening, Salesforce is having lots of opportunities, and without any aim, if someone is doing transitioning, so I think that doesn't make any sense. So what your opinions are?
Yes, so we can see a lot of transitions happening because Salesforce has the highest demand right now in the market, right? So people are trying to switch from various industries. If they have 5 years of experience into aviation, mechanical, teaching industry, they want to switch to Salesforce or IT. So first thing is, I want you to ask this question to yourself: why you are switching? Whether the package is the concern, or you want job stability, or you want to switch to IT because all of your friends are working in IT. You have to first analyze that why you are getting influenced. If you are happy in your particular industry, if you have satisfactory package, if you have good work life balance, then I would say do not switch. But in case if you want to switch, then research about it. Research about the technology you are choosing. Because nowadays, what is happening is we have one vacancy and we have thousands of applicants applying for the same, right? So the ratio is not matching. And that is why people are not getting job and it's all getting messed up.
Right.
So we need to actually figure out that why we are transitioning our career, not because only we want to make a place in IT because our friends are doing or our family are doing. This should not be the reason for you to move into IT. I'll tell you some strong reasons why you should consider IT as your career. There should be some prerequisites, right? You should have some basic IT knowledge, maybe a technical degree, or some basic knowledge of Java or C, C++, any programming language you should learn before you start moving your career into Salesforce. Otherwise, you will be added in that crowd of people who are saying that I'm not getting job in Salesforce. I have started, but I'm not getting job. So if you are seeing that there are vacancies, but there is a lot of competition also, so you have to first prepare yourself before entering into IT. And why people are choosing Salesforce is because it has high demand in the market. And second, people think that it is easy to learn. Yes, it is easy to learn as compared to other technologies. If we compare Java, it has whole programming. But in Salesforce, we do have no code platforms that attracts people to easy transition. And I have seen it that people are able to transition their career from non-IT to IT. I'm not saying it's not a good decision. Of course, it is a good decision, but it requires a lot of efforts. If you are ready to put those 100% or 200 efforts, then only you should decide to move to IT. If you are able to put your 100% efforts, learn about prerequisites which is required to be into Salesforce ecosystem or into IT, then you're always welcome. I think you will be able to achieve your goal.
Right, very well answered, and I think you covered everything. One thing I just want to add, like if people are deciding like we can give our 100%, so don't think like if you are learning Salesforce for 1 month and you will be getting the job. Salesforce is vast, right? We have admin, we have development, we have LWC, we have Omni Studio, we have different functionality clouds, we have industry clouds, we have experience cloud, right? So if you want to really have a job, so at least give 6 months, right? And like there are lot more constraint available, like people are just paying some amount, and then after learning for 1 or 2 months, if they are not getting jobs, so they are thinking like our money, we just wasted our money. So just search for some free resources, and for couple of weeks, like 2 3 weeks, just explore whether you are able to understand with those resources. Just try to search for some mentors, right? And then if you see like you are able to understand but you need some guidance, one-on-one guidance, so in that case you can join some premium courses, right? So lots of free resources are available, and that this was the main reason I started that bootcamp, right? Because through that bootcamp you can just see like whether you are able to understand or not. If yes, and you need more guidance, you need more hand holding, right? Like how to improve our communication skill, how to improve our technical skill. If you're facing any difficulty, you need answer immediately with your mentor, from your mentor. So in that case you can go into that direction, right? So as Poorva is mentioning with each and every question, like research is very much important, so do proper research and then only decide which way to go, right? So this I added knowingly, because lots of people are asking these two things, like what we do for career gap, and is it better to switch from non-technical to technical, right? So I think we have discussed a lot about this. Last one thing I just want to have your attention, Purva. So students, those who are in BTech, so if someone is in BTech, maybe in third year or fourth year, so for them, will it be good to learn Salesforce or not? Because
Yes,
it is not in their curriculum as of now.
right, right. It will be a good option because we know that nowadays degree is not enough for you to get a job. Skill is required.
Right.
So no matter what degree you do, if you are an engineer, you're doing graduation in commerce or any other field, Salesforce has all the streams for you. If you are interested in finance, maybe you can learn about Finance Cloud. If you're interested in core IT, you can go to development and other areas of Salesforce. So any skill is actually required for you to get a job, because even if we have done graduation or any degrees, we needed Salesforce for us to make our career in good directions. So any third year student or fourth year student, I would recommend you to do any extra skill apart from your degree.
Right, and I think same goes for MBA students, MBA, BBA, MCA, right? Apart from BTech,
Yes, it goes for them as well, because
right?
Salesforce does not have a prerequisite that only engineers or IT background students can learn Salesforce. But yes, when you're learning a skill, make sure you clear your basic of programming languages. If you don't know anything about programming language, it will become difficult for you to learn Salesforce.
Right. So, like this came into my mind while we were having the discussion. So, I think Purva, we can have one separate session as a career guidance for students, and we can cover different stream like BTech, BCA, MCA, BBA, MBA, and we can just have a chart, like we have career paths, those are available on Trailhead. So we will be trying, we'll try to map those career paths with the like graduation or post graduation courses that they are doing. So maybe it will be having good impact on students. And you rightly said, like having a degree is not enough. we need to have proper skill set as well. And Salesforce ecosystem is very vast. Lots of opportunities are there for students as well. So I think we can have one career talk conversation for our students as well, those who are doing graduations and post graduation. So I'm sure it will help them as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think this is it for today. We have covered lots of questions, and we'll figure out like if we'll be having some more common questions. So we'll be having one more session this week, and from next week onwards, we'll be switching the direction from these non-technical questions to technical ones. And I think those will be more interesting, right? Because those are the questions which are part of interview process, and those basically covers 75 to 80% part of the interview, right? Okay, so with this note, we take your leave. Thank you, Poorva, for coming onto the channel and sharing all your insights and experiences with the community. So I appreciate your efforts, whatever you are doing for the community. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and thank you everyone, those who joined this session live and those who are watching the recording, thanks to you as well. Okay, so stay tuned for our upcoming mock interview sessions. So I have just created a separate playlist where all the mock interview sessions will be available. So you can just go through with everyone. Okay, so thank you. See you in the next session. Bye.
Sure. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.